Hi, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I'm Ross. This is the Box Truck Vagabond channel, and this is my process of building the box trucks. What I'm going to do today, so today was like Christmas. I had like 7 or 8 orders that came in all at once. Most of it was for my solar. I think I have everything right now. I'm laying it out and I'm going to set it all up, and then that's what this video will be, step by step, me putting it together. I've never done this before, and so it'll be trial and error. I think I have a pretty good concept of how it works, but I want to do it step by step so that other people that have never done it before and are intimidated by it can go ahead and do it. The way I look at it is, you break something, you buy it again and don't do it the same way. So hopefully everything will go all right. Right now the only problem I'm having is getting a board big enough. My inverter's huge. It's a 2,000 watt inverter, and it's like 17, 18 inches long. And so the idea is to mount everything on a board, and then for me, and then that's going to be one of the walls of my box for my batteries. I only have one battery right now. It's a 206 amp hour battery, and I'm hoping that's all I'll need, but I want to build enough space so that I can put 2 in there just in case, just like I did on the roof for an extra 4 solar panels if I need them. So that's what I'm going to do today. I want to go get my refrigerator tomorrow. Everything, it's really funny because everything builds off of my bed, and I can't install my bed until the last thing. So the reason I can't install it until the last thing is because that's where everything comes in at, is through the big doors. I can't bring anything big through this door. So that's where I'm stuck at. So I'm kind of imagining, measuring, hey, it's going to be 5 feet and some inches, and putting it up. Everything's if it works out, I'll be amazed. So just hang out and watch, and hopefully I can get this solar to work today. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, to give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing here. So I'm going to mount this on just this plain piece of plywood, and then once I get it all mounted, I'll take it all off and then cut it to the right length. The height has to be whatever it is to make this fit. So give you an idea of what I got going on here. So this is my MPPT solar charge controller. It's a 40 amp for this system. Since I have a 2,000 watt inverter, that's what I need, is a 40 amp. So that is going to connect to this circuit breaker. It's a 50 amp circuit breaker, and here is my inverter. It's a Renogy 2,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Pretty much top of the line if it's Renogy, I guess. That's what I'm told. So there's cheaper ones out there, but this one had what I wanted as far as connections go. Let me spin around here, I'll show you. Over here it has 3 outlets. Of course I have 2 that I need right off the bat for mine, for all my outlets to work. But I think what I'm going to do, so this over here, this cap comes off, and it's a bare wire or a hard wire attachment. So I can put hard wire there and go to a different one single outlet. And I think that's what I'm going to do for my refrigerator, so that my refrigerator is all on its own circuit. So I'll figure that out once I get it in there. But it has USB on here. It has a hole for the remote. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So I like it. Hope it works. Then as we come over here, this is a 200 amp circuit breaker. And this is what my 12 volt, all my 12 volt, this is my fuse box. So all my 12 volts going to be hooked up to here, and this will be connected to that. And so if anytime I have too much amperage or anything like that, of course the circuit breaker will pop. And I have this 50 amp one over here, so it'll pop as well. This is the positive and the negative on the inverter. Since I'm using this, my positive on my battery will actually connect to the breaker, and my negative will connect to the negative on my inverter. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I have to cut my own wires and put the lugs on them. So I'll try to narrate that as much as I can, but we'll see how it goes. So like I said, this is my first time, so just bear with me and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I hope you can see this. So first thing I'm going to do is, this is 4 gauge wire. I need 4 gauge to go from the positive terminal on this circuit breaker over to the positive on my Blue Sea Systems fuse box. So I'm going to go ahead, and the way that you do this is you set it up you line your wire up next to the plug, or next to the lug, and you mark it with a marker or a pencil in my case. And then what we'll do, you should have a regular wire cutters for this, but I just decided to do it this way. So I'm going to cut it with this blade here and just roll it around. And then make sure you don't nick any of the wires. Pulling them off. Of course, I didn't go deep enough. Okay, so there we go. We got that one done right there. What I have to do now is I'm going to put this in there, make sure all the wires go in. I'll twist that just a little bit to keep all the wires together. Okay, they're not. Of course not. All right, now, all but one. Yeah. I'm sure there's a trick to this, but I don't know it. So there we go. All the wires are in there, and it does go down right to the end right here. I think you can see that. Now, what I have to do is crimp that. And I have a hand crimper. I'll show you what that is. Okay, so this is the hand crimper, and this lifts up like that, and your wire goes inside, and then when it holds it in place, and then you pound on it on the cement. So I'll move that down here. I don't think you can see it, but I'll go ahead and do this one. Make sure the wire stays in there. Okay, and there, it crimped it, and it's on good and tight. So now what I'm going to do, typically you'd put heat shrink on there, but this doesn't need to be waterproof. It's going to be inside, so I'm just going to put electrical tape on it, wrap it around there, just to keep those, if there's any wires that I missed. You know me, that's quite possible. So anyway, we'll wrap that good and tight. And so there's my first one. Then what we're gonna do, so that'll go right there, and we'll put this lug on here. Well, first thing I should have done was I should have screwed everything down. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, so I got that everything all screwed down, and what I'm gonna do, this one goes right here. I'm gonna have to put a washer on that, and then I'm gonna bring this over here. Here's my terminal, or my lug, and then I'm gonna bring my wire just like that. Mark it with a pen so it'll be easier to see. Okay, so what I need to do is, that's where I need to cut it. And then once I've cut it, I need to strip it. Okay, so that's the length I need. So I'll go ahead and cut that out of the way. Now we'll see. That's where I need to strip it. So go ahead and take this off. The reason I put this on was so that I could bend it and see the correct length that I needed. It's very important. And then, so you'll see once I get this in, I'm going to actually mount it so that it's down as well, so it doesn't go flying around. Okay. There we go. All right. Oh, looks like I got a couple wires. That's not good. We don't want to do that. So try as you can not to cut any of the wires. I've watched so many people do this on YouTube, and they cut them too. So I mean, I guess what it would do is defeats the size of the wire, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a wire guy. So, okay. There we go. Make sure it goes all the way in. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take that, cut that around some more. There we go. Man. All but one wire. All but two wires. The end of the lug where this goes into is real close to the same size as the wire. Of course, my eyes aren't that great either. Okay, so I got that in. Now I'm gonna crimp this one. Make sure that they're both flat the same way. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. You just hit it until it's solid. So what I mean by flat is like they'll both go that way. So this one will go on there, and that one will go on there, and then later on what I'll do is I'll fasten it down to there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and crimp the rest of these, cut the wires, get them all mounted, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I did. I don't want you to have to sit here and watch me do this through every one of them, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got it all connected. I got all my wires finished, and wanted to go through and just show you what I've got. So kind of hard to explain because I don't know exactly what everything does. I mean, I know why I have it, but so anyway, so this is my fuse box. This is where all my 12 volt, all my lights will go through this. That's about the only thing I have that's 12 volt, but I have 12 connections, so I can have a lot more. You know, if I happen to buy something that's 12 volt, I can wire it right here. So I needed a negative up here to go to the inverter, and I needed a positive to go to this breaker. So this goes to the breaker, and this goes to the inverter. So in order for the breaker to work, this positive wire here, this long one's going to go to the battery. So then of course overloads, you set it and then it overloads, and it shuts the power off. So this, as I said, I'm going to have to take everything up, cut the board, and then remount everything. But these will be mounted down flat so they won't go anywhere, and it'll all be secure. So then, okay, I need to get a positive over to my charge controller because that's what's going to charge my batteries from my my solar panels. So this one goes into the positive on my inverter, and these are all 4 gauge. These right here, these 3 right here, these 4 right here. All the positives are 4 gauge, and this negative is a 4 gauge. So then from my inverter, it goes to this breaker right here. It's a 50 amp breaker, and that is so that my charge controller, if it sends too many amps or whatever, it'll pop and then it won't run the rest of the system. So this positive here, as you can see, I haven't tightened them down because I know I got to take them back up, but I need a washer on this one, and I need a washer on this one, because the lugs, in order for the wires to work, the holes in the lugs were too big for the stems, for the screws. So then it goes through this breaker, and then it goes on into the positive of my charge controller. And then the negative comes out and goes clear over to my inverter. And then my inverter goes, of course, back to my 12 volt fuse box, but it also goes to the negative on my battery. So that's basically the whole system. I do have like these I have a remote for my charge controller, but that's all plug and play, and that's pretty simple. This was the challenging part for me because even though I have a network engineer background, and I have never I've never swedged wires, especially not 4 gauge wires. Those are pretty big, but it was actually very easy. Once I did my first one, I think the intimidation factor went away, and it got a lot easier. So that was a lot of fun. It was a good experience, and I hope you guys got something out of it. Unfortunately, it's dark out, so I can't take this all off, cut the board, and put it in there and hook it up to my battery and my solar panels because, well, there's no solar. So I'll wait until tomorrow, and I'm really debating whether to just put this online right now and to make y'all wait because I gotta wait, or just do it all at once. So I guess we'll see when I post it. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.